Hey you, I'm the Queen of Shade. Welcome to the interview. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit my Cash App to support your favorite content creator. Now let's get to the interview. Mwah.
Let me tell you something. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. You're a bougie bitch and your mama is too. Said you're a bougie bitch and your mama is too.
Salutations to those. This is your fabulous leader, the Queen of Shade, coming to you with a very special presentation today. This presentation is one that a lot of you are very excited to see, have been asking me questions about recent developments. And today, I felt that this conversation would be beautiful to have in front of you guys, for you guys, but for us as well, with our new developments. And we'll talk about what our new developments are momentarily. But for the most part, I'm going to introduce someone you've already met here on my platform before. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail so you understand who they are, what they are, and how they are. And then we're going to delve into this new found connection, this newfound space, how it came about, because I'm tired of getting the text messages in the middle of the night asking me, when did this happen? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start by reading. Born Jermaine David Moses Rupert Green on November 27th, 1976, to parents Dolores L. Green and Robert R. Dixon. His drive to work with the community started very young while in his adolescence. Here, he discovered his innate excitement for knowledge. His passion for working with young adults presented itself when he began working at the Administration for Children's Services, or ACS. This is where he got his professional work experience with a diverse community of infants, youth, and young adults. While there, he empowered many young adults to become active participants in their destinies. This rewarding work allowed him to touch the lives of many of those whom society would have thrown away. He became aware of his purpose to learn from, support, guide, mentor, empower, enlighten, and liberate the young adult community. To refine his innate skills to execute his purpose, he attended Medgar Wiley Evers College, a predominantly Black college in central Brooklyn, where he earned his degree of a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology in 2014. Currently, he is attending Queens College, majoring in religious studies. He continues to strive and press toward further enlightenment and personal development. He has been utilizing those refined skills at Unity Fellowship of Christ movement since the year 2000. His ordination journey is as follows. Started at the office of deacon in 2007, then to minister in 2014, and elevated to reverend in 2017. He has served in numerous capacities within UFC NYC over the years. While serving in those capacities, his calling was confirmed when he started working with the young adult ministry, the House of Saints, which later became known as the Remixes of the Christ. The remixes of the Christ was engaged in the ballroom community culture. He has also joined a collection of leaders called the Game Changers since 2014. He has also been charged with the training of the deaconate students. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. All of the areas he served in have allowed him to be a servant, mentor, trainer, and confidant to fellow leaders and those whom the Creator has placed in his path. While following and trusting the divine, he has become a content creator on social media. His powerful opener is greetings to my multiverse, friends, family, followers, subscribers, and the global community. The journey continues, and it will be led by the Spirit, bathed in love, manifested in excellence, and done intentionally. And I'm going to pause because now Mr. Wayne has something to read.
So here's the interesting thing. The Queen of Shade just read my bio with all of the stuff that I've done. But just for a moment, let's take a centering space. Because we can kind of know of all the amazing things that she's done. But let's kind of go through this amazing bio of this phenom, aka the Phoenix. Beyond DeVoe is an internationally renowned gay African-American male singer and songwriter that takes on a trans illusionist persona known as the Queen of Shade. The DeVoe persona, providing entertainment services as the Queen of Shade since at least 2015. DeVoe has a wide social media following, has created and made available numerous songs heard in over 56 countries, gag on that, 56 countries, and thousands of non-downloadable online videos, regularly providing live performances throughout the country and internationally, over the internet, baby, this platform, and selling clothing and other merchandise. In 2018 alone, DeVoe received over 21 million likes on his Instagram post. Bjorn DeVoe has taken great care to protect and enforce his rights in the Queen of Shade trademark, including having taken the steps to register it with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, hereafter USPTO, for use on entertainment services in the nature of live musical performances, providing a website featuring non-downloadable videos in the field of entertainment, namely inspiration, music, sweatshirts, and t-shirts. Oh, and don't gag, and coffee mugs. And take steps to enforce the right in such marks against those whom damage the distinct character of them. Notwithstanding that Bjorn DeVoe is undeniable, the Queen of Shade. And the DeVoe persona is recognizable one in the relevant community. But let's just talk about the relevant community because, you know, you got to do a little research. So when it comes to Facebook, the Queen has 2.1K followers. And then when we transfer over to Instagram, 120K followers. But the gag is 42.4K posts. That's a whole lot of content that the Queen has produced for all of us to gain inspiration, insight, and be entertained by all of the extra. And then on TikTok, you know, the new space that she's rocking and rolling, she has 4,238 followers. And the gag is she has 57.7K likes. This bitch is burning up the airways. And then when you travel over to YouTube, because that's the other place that she does a whole lot of work, she has 775 subscribers. She has 362 videos. But gag to this, folks, she has 61,056 views all on them videos. This is the Queen of Shade. This is the Phoenix that continues to rise. So I just wanted to add my little spin on that end because
Okay. The reason why we took time to introduce each other formally to you, because that's what that was. That was formal introduction. I wanted to do that because I wanted everyone to understand just exactly who we are and how mightily we are used by the divine and the spirit world. Both shaman, both leaders, both mentors, both inspirations, both social media inspirations, both brands. I wanted everyone to understand the power that is contained between both of us. And the reason why is because we've known each other for 20 years. I met this beautiful man when I was 19 years old. It first started in an AOL chat room. Who remembers those? Started in the AOL chat room. And, against your mother's wishes, they tell you, don't give nobody your number. We connected in an AOL chat room, and I gave my number. And we began to talk on the phone. And it was in the conversations on the phone that something very unique happened to me for the first time in my life. And that was a very deep bond and connection. I felt so free with Jermaine that I used to sing to him all the time. We would stay up late he had to work. I was on hiatus, getting my mental health together. He had to work, but he would stay up and we would talk and just talk about everything. And even then, having had such a devastatingly embarrassing expulsion from college, being medically withdrawn, I didn't even know that he was a mentor, that he was someone to help people, especially young people, through the different areas of their life to help them manifest and reach their destinies. So I too, unbeknownst to me, fell right into the category of needing his help. And that he gave. But that bond started to get very, very, very deep. And we agreed. Your mom always say, don't you meet nobody on the internet. Well, a lot of us have failed that test. But we decided that we wanted to meet each other face to face. And so I didn't have a job at that time. I told my grandmother at that time. I said, look, I met a man. She said, oh, really? I said, yeah, because that was the time when I was coming out. I said, I met a man. And I said, I really care about him and I want to meet him. And she said, okay. And she gave me money to get on a bus and go meet this stranger whom she had seen me talk to every night for quite a while. And I remember before the meeting from my side, because I want him to tell his side too. From my side, I wasn't even nervous. I wasn't even scared. Like I'm looking at the day. I remember what I wore, everything. I remember how my hair was, everything. And I remember the bus pulling up into Chinatown. because you could get those good old China buses for $20. I hope they're still around, because that would be a shame to have to pay more than that to get to New York. But if I have to, I have to. But I remember stepping off the bus, and I remember looking at him for the very first time. And for me, it was love at first sight. Please tell us how you recall it.
So we just transition right into that, like tell your side. Is that what happens? Okay, all right. I see how this is going to go because I thought it was going to do questions, going to a conversation piece, like it's doing the ping pong. Okay, I'm cool with that. So, as the queen said, like we spoke a lot, and I mean a lot. Like I had to be at work at like 9 in the morning, which means I need to be up by like 7:30. For those who live in New York, you know how the MTA get early in the morning. So, and I had to get to work, but I literally enjoyed the conversations, and it wasn't like it was talking about, oh, what's so how you get down, shorty, and it wasn't none of that. It was literally none of that. It was like, oh, so what's going on in your life? What's your goals and all that stuff? What you trying to do? It was just regular old conversation, and then, oh, I like to sing. Oh, sing. Literally would sing me to sleep, and would stay literally on the phone until I borderline woke up, and then that was constant every night. I mean, every night, like every night. And it was consistent, which is an amazing thing that allows true connection to form, is consistency, not sporadicness. Sporadicness is cute for a quick spark of a flame, but it's the consistency that keeps the flame burning. But that's neither here nor there. So then there was a whole conversation like, oh, I'm going to come visit. You know, again, people online like, this nigga lying, ain't coming up here. I get the message of the bus details. I was like, oh, they really coming. Okay, so let me get my little my space together to welcome some folks in. Tell my godchild that Godfather's gonna have some company. I know we got to work this week, so I'm gonna need you to try to figure some stuff out. Okay, love you much. So then I was like, okay, let me get there early because you know I ain't trying to get there late because you know that's a first impression. So I got there, I was waiting for the bus to show up. I'm looking at my wires like, where's the bus? And then the bus shows up. And I'm standing there. Now that whole ain't no nervousness, that's amusing. Because my stomach was all in the bubble, trouble, double. Because I was like, is it a catfish or not? Like, you know, listen, y'all know about catfishes. Let's not make it seem like we don't. There's folks that steal people's pictures, posting them online, and try to get the good. That could have been me. Would have been violated. So I'm sitting there, and then like there was a heavyset guy, I think that had like a grayish sweatshirt on, that was walking in front of him when he got off, and I'm like, I know the fucking ain't this big grizzly looking nigga. Child, let me turn away, cause what we not gonna do.
Shout out to the obese community. We love y'all.
Well, but not. I'm gonna clean it up. Jesus Christ, I was coming back to it. So let me say this. It was not the fact that the person was full figured that I couldn't rock with. Listen, my goddaughter is thick and I love all shapes, size. But the catch was, it would have been a catfish.
Yeah.
The picture online was one thing.
Yeah.
And then baby, what got off that bus was another. So the person moves, and then like you see this like person slowly walking, and I'm like, I see here, and I was like, oh, that's them. And then they came down, and it was just like this moment of the eyes meeting, where like nothing has to be said, but everything is said. That's when I realized that there was something greater than just like anything, because when you can stare at a person, you make eye contact, and it's like a whole damn conversation that's had, and ain't nobody part a word. And then we hugged, and I was like, oh, okay, is that what we give it in public? How about that life? And literally like the nervousness began to subside, and I was like, okay, we gonna see how this rock. And then they came to visit. So then, mind you, they came to visit at a time that I had like a major project that I had to do for Black Pride NYC. Shout out to Black Pride NYC. Love y'all. Y'all held it down for bringing about a cultural shift for so many people of color of the Alphabet Mafia. So I'm trying to do that stuff, plus try to spend time with the queen, plus like manage my godson because he actually was working with me and he was staying with me so that he can get there on time. And it just blossomed. Like, you know, but the amazing part is, so I'm just like slightly keep going with the story since I've been given the mic. Because, you know, you don't give a preacher a mic because they will talk. So then, you know, we met and then we had some personal time. We vibed. So let's not say as soon as I got the queen back to my house, it was a quick boom chicka wow, drop them draws. No, ma'am, let's not do that. We're not gonna talk about it was a one and done. No. So he was really interested in what I was doing. I'm like, you really don't have to. You know that, right? Like, you can like chill in the house and stuff. Me and my son will be back, and I'll bring you some food. There's food already in the house. Your mom was like, no, I want to go with you. I'm like, okay, that's going to be really weird because work me and home me are two different me's. So I was like, all right, so be ye prepared. So we went to an event. I did what I need to do. And then afterwards, it was like, okay, we went back to the crib. Talk. You know, I like to cook. Amazing vibe. My godson was like, so I guess I'm about to leave. Yes, amen. Yes, amen. You're about to leave. About to go somewhere. I don't know where, son, but you go somewhere. And that sounds really bad. Like, I'm not a bad godfather, so understand that. Just know that.
Not at all.
So then, like, we just vibed. And then, you know, at some point during that visit, yeah, there was some meshing and merging of the energies and the forces of nature to create some stuff. Then after that, you know, there was some truth-telling that occurred. The truth-telling that occurred created tension between me and the good old queen. Because of stuff that, as the queen has told numerous times on her platform, all of them. I already mentioned all of them, and there's more to come on top of the website. But nonetheless, and you know, the podcast. But nonetheless, that then made him feel a certain type of way. So there were some choice words that was said. So if y'all thought when he first started the Queen of Shade and them lines was, it will cut you to the white meat, what I got back in the days when they were young and tenderoni, and mind you, there ain't a whole lot of years between us. For you make it seem like I was some old man preying on some child. Gag. There's only like 6 years difference. Get into that. So that cut me down to the marrow. And I was like, oh, okay. And my godson played a mediator and was like, okay, so you're still here. You're not clearly going home. So let me take you with me so my dad can be in the house and maybe y'all can work some stuff out. So it kind of got to a slight civil, and I mean slight civil. And then next you know, the queen returned back to the palace, which is known as Pennsylvania. And it was like, we kind of stopped talking. So I'm going to run through the whole thing because they don't, again, give me the mic. So then, you know, they traveled to Paris. Before they went, there was a little message. Hey, I was like, oh, okay, well, wish you the best of luck. Mind you, I was like, okay, you already said what you need to say. I'll be supportive and whoop whoop, because my grandfather told me no love lost. No matter if you are connected to a person or not, you should still be able to express and manifest love if you said that was true when you first done. So that's who I do. That's how I roll. Went to Paris. Lived their life very fully, and I mean live life. Then had a moment. First, sent me a picture from Paris, somewhere where like there was this long walkway, and just took a picture. I was like, so that's what we give it? I had to catch myself because I was like, remember what that heifer said to you, don't you? Then they had their moment, came back, hit me up again, and I was being who I was. Okay, so you know that things happen for a reason. It brought that on, so now you can get the necessary help that you need to get. Pay that, no mind. Boom. Then there was separation again, because, you know, they came into awareness of their fullness from what I knew. Yeah. Phoenix burns up, rises from the ashes, take what from the ashes is necessary to form the new phoenix, and continues to fly. So and we've known her evolution around preference. We don't have to go into that. You know, she used to send her multiple videos to blast. But nonetheless, so then we reconnected again. Just start talking on civilness. It wasn't even on no like, what's good? I'm trying to get through. None of that. It was just talking, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Oh, I'm good. Happy birthday. Blah, blah. Over the years, and that had continued over and over, and it was like a break, then a pause, and come back, and then when what we all come to know now as the Queen of Shade, because I know what I knew them as, but we're not going there. Then next thing you know, they doing all these videos, and then they hit me up. It's like, oh, I just want to talk to you because, you're like, gagged to hear this. You're a spiritual advisor to me, and I'm going to make sure you're on payroll, and wherever I go, you will be there to help with all the spiritual advice you give.
That was the first attempt to get him in my
employee.
Yes.
Oh, employee. So I was like, well, I mean, it's a guaranteed check, and I get to fly around the world, so, it ain't that bad. Oh, let me manage my thoughts and my presence. Because clearly I got friend zone. First off, that's worse. Can we talk for a minute, world? That's worse than friend zone. I got employee zone. Don't nobody get employee zone. They get friend zone. I got employee. I got employee zone.
Wait. I want you to keep going because I'm loving this. I wanted to keep you around, but I didn't know how to do that exactly. Keep going.
I was going to be hired on payroll.
Yeah.
To be the spiritual advisor.
Yes.
Not nothing else, the advisor. Like an employee.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, well, amen to that. Okay, it's going to be what it's going to be. And kept giving advice. Because that's who I be. Mind you, all the advice was private.
Yeah.
Until the queen calls me, gives me this long voicemail at the wee hours of the morning. I'm sleeping in my bed. Why? Because I get church the next day. And runs through this whole crisis that again has been known on the platforms. So I sat there and was in my sleep voice. I didn't want to type because first off, my eyes were still closed. So I send a voice note of encouragement to this one right here. Because they were going through, and I knew I could not call because I would not have had the full faculty because I was still half asleep. But I had enough of awareness and inclination and a quick plug-in to say what I need to see. And because it just engenders up. It just flows out. Say what I need to say. Paid it no mind because I was like, just giving a little bit of encouragement. The next day when I finally wake up, go do praise the Lord, hallelujah with the church. Bring mine to home. I'm in the car with my best friend. I'm looking through my phone, and I'm like, tagged. Can't nobody tag me? Because I don't trust people tagging me and stuff because that could get a little dangerous. They post something that's not aligned with who you are, then you gotta. I ain't trying to manage nothing unless it's my own mouth. So then I'm like, what am I tagged in? Who is liking something I'm tagged in? I don't know what the hell this is. Hey, I just want you to know. Is half my sleepy voice into the world? This is someone I think you should all know. This is my spiritual advisor. Again, still an employee. Still an employee. Gag in that, still an employee. I was like, okay, fine. It was what it was. Backtrack just for a second. They had a child that was very special to them and close to them, and they caught me. Now, mind you, again, these are like breaks, like not days, not weeks, not even months. We're talking longer than quarters. Like third quarter of the year, I finally hear a message. Oh, Jermaine, I just want to talk to you for a second. Oh, sure. I need you to do me a favor. Sure, what's the favor? I have someone that is going through something. My company, my empire will do ... for them. I just need you to give them a safe space to lay their head. I was like, sure, no problem. Because, technically, I'm an employee.
Okay.
You're supposed to do what your boss asks you to do.
Oh my God.
If it's humane and it's not violating. So mind you, I do a whole culture shift for anyone that knows me, how I'm at home. So I do a whole culture shift. Have someone come stay, and that's fine. They came, met me at work. We had conversations. Because I'm clear, before you enter my house, I don't care what he says.
Always been that way.
I need to understand you before you enter my home. Because my home is my sanctuary. When all outside the world breaks down and it's chaotic, The one thing I'm sure to have is my home, my sanctuary, my inner sanctorum that I can sit and just woosah and not worry about the cares and the fears of work. Yes, I film right here when I do my stuff, but still, that's outside them doors. So we met, we talked. I did my little spider sense tingle to get a sense of him, realized some stuff that was not informed to me about what they were dealing with, but that's fine. They come to the house because that stuff I was able to deal with. I was able to be supportive of. This wench sat there, and at some point, I guess her spider sense, oh, sorry, not spider sense, the spirit of God, the divine began to speak to her, and her phoenix feathers began to flutter. So that heifer went and asked, so how's everything with Jermaine? Is he kind to you? Has he not tried to disrespect you? No, he's, but his boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. This heifer was trying to do intel. It had the nigga in my house doing intel, which is fine. I don't really care because I'm not, like, we ain't hiding nothing. So mind you, they ain't never come to me and be like, oh, so you got a man? Nothing. Now, years later. So now we had that scenario, and that went however it went. She was upset at her child, had some choice words. I had to be the mediator between the two because, I'm the employee, the spiritual advisor.
Oh, God.
So then, next, years happen, and then, they begin to hound me. So the mentors, I pray for you right now, Lord. We ask you to touch their mentors, touch their hearts, Lord, as the queen begins to do the raw decrees upon them. Okay, so just wanted to get that out there for you because I've experienced that. So, so they was like, so Jermaine, I think it's time for you to sit there and do a podcast on Anchor. I said, no, I don't really do the voice thing because I'm just doing the work. I don't need all that extra stuff. Oh, okay, so whenever you think you decide you want to do this stuff, this is the supplies you should get.
Yep.
Sent the stuff to me. I was like, oh, it's only going to cost this amount. I'm like, have I just told you I ain't going to do this? Paid that no mind. Months later, hey Jermaine, because now they've heard me like a sermon I've done because it was on my wall. He watched it and was like, so Jermaine, here's the Anchor account. You can edit it from your phone. You can do all this stuff. I said, no, I don't really want to do that. I'm not really all that cool with it. So I went and brought the supplies. Why? Because I need to be online for church. So I had to get a little ring light set up and all this stuff. I said, okay, so the mic can benefit me for church. Ain't never used a mic for church. Never used the headphones for church. I use the hell out that ring light though. As you can see, it's glistening, giving me all that good, get my good cocoa complexion going on. So then they kept pressing. The employee, it's like your boss is, hey, so you should be doing X, Y, and Z. I see you can do this. Oh, the ancestors said you should be doing this. All this stuff. Now, mind you, I already knew what I was supposed to be doing. I'm like, if you don't leave me alone. But they kept going. So then I sat there, had this epiphany to do something. Because I was already making content. Gag, get into that. So before the videos, it was a picture is worth 1,000 words. It was a moment for you to sit there and look at the imagery and begin to center yourselves around the wording and the imagery to gain, because art is interpretive. I did a whole bunch of posts on that. And then I was told by, I think you should go back to the first post and you should articulate what it means to you. Yeah. What you want me to post that is? God, I'm about to do that. The Lord didn't speak that into my spirit. That's gas for you, girl. Pay it no mind. And then I did a video. This one hits me up. Oh, so you finally sat there and did. But I don't need you sitting there getting in. Mind you, because you saw the headphones and clearly knew it was the mic. Why? Because that was the equipment that they recommended. Did that, the next things are starting to flourish. I'm in my zone. I'm in my zhuzh. And they're still in their zhuzh, doing the work of the phoenix as I'm doing the stuff of the dragon. And then we start having some conversations. Now, mind you, we were not talking on a reg. It was a hit and miss here and there. And I had the number, though. That's the gag. And they had my number. Hit and miss. When I tell you hit and miss, y'all have heard from her, him, they, them, more than I did for the reason. But then next we would talk and I would have this feeling. Like, you ever get that feeling? Like somebody's about to say something or they hiding some stuff, but they trying to mask it up with some stuff. Again, still the employee, giving wisdom and knowledge to the employee. And then after a scenario that we all know that was on a podcast and a TikTok video that, had to go to the, or had a, y'all already know, we don't have to retract that. So then I was like, oh, okay, I should reach out, be the employee, just sit there and give, some type of, wisdom in the moment. Because, that can be a very traumatic experience, as you all know. So then, I had this feeling like, well, no, what the hell is this heifer hiding? Because it was hiding. And once you become aware of yourself, your body responds to the energy that is being either masked. So they call it the gut instinct, call it intuition. I call it my spider sense. So my heart began to beat really fast. What the heck? Oh Lord, I'm about to die. I can't die on FaceTime. That ain't cute. I got stuff to do. And I was like, okay, I don't understand. So then I took a moment after we spoke and I was like, okay, that was not me. That was him. So what is he not sharing from his heart? I was like, okay, I'm going to pay this dust. Had a whole interview, to be exact, too. So this is the third one for all y'all. This is the third gag. Third! Trifecta! The Trinity! So the first one was all for them because I realized the divine needed some encouragement and some pouring into your queen. Employee still. The second one was for the universe. Remember that? The seed? A new earth, a new heaven. Yeah, y'all remember that. So then we just kept talking. And I was like, every time we would talk, my heart would do that. So I thought I was about to, again, have a heart attack. So then, a couple of weeks ago, we're in this conversation and it's really like, brrr. I'm like, Lord, please don't tell me I'm about to die. God, I can't die on camera. That's not sexy. If I die in my house, no one gonna find me. And the folks that find me, God have mercy, they gonna be, oh my God. So we're having a conversation and then they're like pussyfooting around stuff. They doing all this extra stuff. And I'm like, what the hell are they about to say to me? So then it goes from the heart to the mind. And I'm like, okay, so whatever it is, they're trying to articulate in their mind and process their heart. And I'm like, okay, this is being a much in the notion. And then they slide into it, and their voice gets all soft, the sultry stuff that y'all don't normally see that because of the energy that they be. Yeah. So the persona, remember the bio. So then I'm like, okay, the voice then got soft and stuff. So I just want you to know that I love you. And I was like, oh, yeah, I knew that, but I love it, and I love you too. They go, not like that. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Still going. So I'm like, okay, clearly there's something in this. Then they go, oh, so, you have been the only person that I've ever truly loved. Now, if you go back to them damn videos, the queen has said the opposite. Because, the mind, the heart, and the soul had not aligned to accept that which was always there. So every now and then, caveat to all the folks that are watching, every now and then it takes us to align the fullness of who we are to get clarity about what we are, who we are, and where we're going to go. Nonetheless, so they had that moment. And I was like, okay, where's this going? You're the only person I've ever loved, truly loved. Because I love everyone, but I've truly loved you, and I've been in love with you for a long time. So now I was like, girl, what's about? Am I about to get fired? Bitch, I didn't even get the first check. What the heck? I thought I was about to get fired. Because, bosses, when they try to fire you, they try to, sometimes, they try to do it all nice, and then they, slide you out. Give you a little compliment, and then kick you out. I thought I was about to get the pink slip. I didn't even get the first check, babe. That's what I'm saying. I didn't get the first check, y'all. But it's fine. I've got wealth in other areas between our connection for 1,000 years. So then I was like, oh my God, I've always loved you too. I remember the first day we're talking about that. And then it goes, so I want to ask you to be my boyfriend. First off, I thought the heifer was drunk. Like, are you drunk, bitch? Were you serious? Yeah, because I don't want to ever lose you. And I was like,
Wasn't the only reason. Tell them what I said.
You get to tell your perspective. Thank you. I'm telling my side. You see this, folks, mentees that are on. I understand your process. Friends of the Queen.
I don't
I
have that many.
understand.
I don't have that many.
I already know that, but the friends of the Queen, I understand. Those who have been by the Queen, I understand your process. I am aligned with you. We are one. The Christians have a song that said, "We are one in the spirit." We are one because we all deal with. But nonetheless, so then I was like, oh, wow, okay, I definitely didn't see that chick coming. And I was like, um, are you serious? And they were clear. They were emphatically serious. So I was like, well, we have always loved each other and stuff, but let's get something clear about. So, because again, relationship structures have the capacity.
Don't go there yet.
Okay, so
Wait, don't go there yet.
okay, so I'm gonna stop there,
Yes,
and then I said yes. Just know I said yes, and then let me just before I pass the baton over to the Phoenix. So the dragon then gets a notification on the cellular phone that I've been tagged in something. So I'm paying it no mind because I'm creating content, global universe. I'm doing all that stuff, so I'm assuming there's something there. Then I get a iMessenger because I don't have an iPhone, Android. Whoop, whoop, I get a MacBook. So I get, hey, so I tagged you in a post. I was like, really? Okay, I'll go look at it. I ain't gonna look at it yet. And then some, the spider sense tingle and said, no, nigga, you need to go look at that. Whole publication ad content creates marketing and just puts it out there. There was no conversation with me beforehand. Queen just did what the Queen wants to do. The Phoenix just did what the Phoenix wants to do. Now, at that moment, the dragon.
Yes, I took that as I'll do the rest.
The dragon had an opportunity either to just breathe and pay it dust, breathe and blow a little smoke, or incinerate. And damn, you even asked me. So I was like, well, I guess this is just what the hell it's gonna be. Then I got notifications on my Facebook page. Now, mind you, for folks who know me, I'm really like anal control freak over that. So I'm getting some notifications popped up. This one goes, oh, so you may get some notifications on Facebook too. For what? 4 notifications. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Real? Oh, so this is the doo doo. Like this ain't for shits and giggles. This is the doo doo. I was like, okay, except boo boo boo. I was like, well, I guess the universe is gonna know what the universe knows. And then next you know, it was on Facebook, it was on Instagram, it was on TikTok, and it's been in YouTube interviews. Like it's been all over the damn place. And then bios get changed. Oh, you click on the bio. What the fuck? Like, are there no conversations about how this is gonna work? But I'll baton the pass so they can tell their perspective of the ask after 60,000 years.
It was 20 years. It wasn't 60,000. It was 20 years. And the funny thing is I sat here smiling so hard that my teeth got dry. Because I was just like, like you are absolutely right. Like we really did care about each other for a really long time. And when I met you, I knew I loved you. But there were instances that I just didn't feel we could be together. I felt like, no, it won't be possible, or no, I don't know what it will look like. And anybody that knows me knows if I can't see it, I'm not doing it. I have to be able to visualize it. If I can't visualize it, I can't do it. But my ask was a little bit more detailed. Everything he said was correct. It's just that the way that I brought it up was that I told him, I said, listen, I will have been celibate 10 years in August, and I haven't been physical or emotionally available in 10 years. And I'm still going to hit that mark. So August, it'll be 10 years. And then I told him, I said, I don't want another man to touch me in life if it's not you. And that was when we kind of both had a moment. I cried, he cried, and he's right. After that, it was still like nothing was decided, nothing was etched, nothing was on go. I just got very excited because I felt like, oh my God, I finally did it right. And of course, it was an unorthodox popping of the question. It was so unorthodox. But I was not really afraid because I knew we had so, like, you guys need to understand, this man has been with me through every stage of my life, every stage, every stage, from 19 till now, every stage. His wisdom, his guidance, his good looks. He has been with me in every stage of my life. And he was right. I'm thinking, well, I'll make him my spiritual advisor. But I get this. I said that to him in 2018. But let's tell the truth here. In 2018, I knew what I wanted from him. I just could not ask him. I couldn't ask him. Employee. Stop saying employee. My thing was this. I figured if I get him around me, then it will happen. That was kind of my reasoning. Stop it. He's mad about being an employee, y'all. He never told me he was pissed about being an employee, but he's pissed clearly about being an employee. But he's not an employee anymore because we're doing this to say that we decided after I pushed it and pushed it and pushed it, and he said yes, we decided to become a couple. So for the first time in my adult life, I have a boyfriend. And he turns 46 in November 27th. I turned 40 in September 29th. And it's new territory, but it's not uncertain territory. This man knows me. I know this man. And the crazy thing was, I didn't tell my grandmother. I didn't tell anybody. You should have heard. I got to tell you something about that today. She said something about that today too. It was so weird to have her say, I'm gonna just say it now. It was so weird. We were going to get food, and because we don't cook, so we were going to get food, and she was talking about switching to a plant-based diet. And she was like, I know. And so yeah, but we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. So here she goes to me. She says this to me. She says, yes. She says, I really think once we move out of here, we need to like really do a plant-based diet. And she was like, you can always ask your boyfriend who has done this to help. And I just kind of looked at her.
Mama!
Exactly. But get it. She's been excited about it since I told her. Because she said the first thing my grandmother said to me was, well, you've known him 20 years. I mean, how can you go wrong with someone that has literally been in every phase of your life, every transition of your life for 20 years? So that's why I didn't feel that it required too much. And I was right. He didn't make me jump through hoops. He didn't make me, you didn't make me jump through hoops to say yes. But I did have to tell him because, okay, let's talk queen here. I got a lot of boys. They're men, but boys. And I had to let him know what spirit wanted me to tell him. And I let him know, I said, listen, I will guard your heart, never break your heart, never do that to you. And he and I'm so glad because today we're not crying. We've cried enough about this. So like it just, it's just such a beautiful thing to be able to finally find love at last. And that I even said it in the marketing that he talked about. I said some things don't happen at once. Sometimes they happen at last. And I created marketing, child. I did. And it got a lot of buzz. A lot of celebrities were like, congratulations. Like it got a lot of buzz. But, and people are still congratulating us. So it's just, I want to talk to them about the differences in our relationship. And that's why I said, don't go there yet, because people have asked me questions. How did it happen? Well, there's how it happened. We both said it. We've known each other 20 years. We had a great meeting 20 years ago, and the essence of that meeting stayed with us throughout our lives. And then we just kind of, it just never went anywhere. And I said it, he said it, and I said it. We both tried. Oh, we both tried. We had partners. We tried. I didn't have boyfriends, but we all know, I talk about this all the time. I had a lot of men, I had a lot of sex. And each one of them, and I told him that each one of them were very interested before, and it was before I was the queen. Each one were very interested in sticking around, but it just, as I told him, it just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. I felt that it wasn't right. And there was an older gentleman that I loved very much so. And even with him, it just wasn't right. It just was not right. And then when I call him Jay. We're not trying to be J and B, but we are. My name is Bjorn. His name is Jermaine, so we are J and B. Our own J and B. But I want to talk about our beautiful meeting 20 years ago and what caused me to run, because that's what happened. I was so afraid. What happened was, we all know it's always a saga with my family. I've got a lot of shaman in my family. I've got a lot of oracles. I've got a lot of prophets and seers in my family. But just because they're in my family and they have those gifts don't mean that they use them for good. So I had an uncle that basically said to my grandmother, and she called me and told me while I was on the bus to go to New York to meet Jermaine for the first time, be careful because your uncle said you're going to contract HIV and die. So a lot of my adult life, not just that instance, I ran. A lot of my adult life, I didn't want to, I ran, I had the weirdest sex life possible because of that implant, of that wrong agenda or wrong mindset or wrong idea. I would go for years without having sex, and then I would binge, and then I would go for years without having sex. And that was how I kind of got through my early 20s and up until about my early 30s, late 20s. Because what happens is, and that was the thing, we've talked about this, I wouldn't even climax with my partners because I didn't want to be vulnerable. It was kind of me trying to say, I have a need, I want to fulfill this need, but if there's no bodily exchange, if there's no fluid exchange, if there's none of that, I'm safe. Use plenty of condoms, use plenty of water-based lube, I'll be fine. Then something happened in my realization of myself, is that I realized I was a blouse. When I met Jermaine years ago, yeah, I was not a blouse. I was very much a young, effeminate bottom. And I must say, I had one of the best experiences, if not the best experience, with this man right here. I did. And it was the only time I've ever remembered being a receiving partner, because I have a lot of psychology attached to receiving. I don't do it today. I don't do it today. I don't do it today. So, but that memory I always held on to because it was so well done. It was well done. And yeah, and he was talking to me because we were talking about life and stuff like that. And I talked about how I didn't sleep with anybody on my college campus, but I had a boy come from Ohio over to my college campus during the summertime. And he was my first. And Jermaine was like, I should have been your first. And I'm like, baby, you were the best. Don't worry. You were the best. It don't matter. You were the best. So the nuances of our relationship are this. Jermaine, do you want to tell them your status, or should I?
Oh, I got no problem. So I am HIV positive. So I've had HIV living with me. Wording is really important. Since I was 18.
Yeah.
And I'm about to be 46 in a couple of weeks. So yeah.
Yeah. The reason why I was so scared was because of what my uncle said. And 20 years ago, we didn't have all of these advancements that we have in medicine today. And I say this because I shared this with another young man whom was recently diagnosed. And I told him, I said, my boyfriend's HIV positive. I'm HIV negative. We love each other. We're going to be together. And the boy started crying. He said, because the fact that you would be an HIV negative person and not really freak out about your partner being HIV positive. And I said to him, I said, baby, who you love is who you love, and you choose to love them. You choose to love them. You choose. It's just like, and get it, because of science, there are a lot, look at this one. There are a lot of people that have this, in their lives, or live with it, or it's living with them, that are healthier than all of y'all running around who don't have it. And then what's worse is, and this was my thing, because my grandmother asked me about this too. I would rather, and this is my rationale, I would rather know my partner has it than continue to sleep around on one night stands and get infected and not know who gave it to me. And with this situation, all of the risk is gone. I don't have to be infected. He takes his medicine the way that he should. He takes care of himself the way that he should. He's a germaphobe. So I don't know how we're going to do this. We're going to have hazmat suits or something. But yeah, but I am right now in my life, I am getting on PrEP, and condoms will always be a thing. And I'm going to love this man the way I've loved him for 20 years. And I see no problems with that. Now, here we go. I'm a blouse, which is a top. He's a top. This relationship is going to have a lot, like we said the other night, we were laughing. This relationship is going to have a lot of bumping and grinding. This relationship is going to have a lot of bumping and grinding, but we're both open to that. We open to that. We open to that. It's going to have a lot of bumping and grinding. And that's okay. That is all right. And at first I said to him, I was like, oh, I want you all to myself. But knowing this man for 20 years and knowing myself for 40, we are both polyamorous. So we are in a polyamorous relationship. This is not an open relationship. Do you understand that? There's a difference between polyamory and open relationship. Polyamory is different. Many loves, romance. If it leads there, like he says, it leads there. But I kind of have this thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. He wants to share that with me. He wants to share he wants to tell everything. I don't want to know. If it happens, I don't want to know, because I will be using my condoms and taking my PrEP. I will be all right. But what you have to understand is it's not necessarily the sexual part of it anyway. Polyamory is about so much more. It's about the emotional ability to have romantic relationships and connections with multiple people at the same time. That's really what polyamory is. But you know me, your queen being an ex-slut puppy, I always think about the sex too. So I always do. So, but my thing is, so we're in a polyamorous relationship. And like I said, I don't want to know what he does. He wants to know everything I do. And my thing is this, I'm okay with that. I am okay with that, definitely. Because honestly, as I've told him, I have a lot of boys, but I told him on the phone the other night, I said, listen, I got a lot of boys, but you don't elevate a boy to become your king. You don't elevate a boy to become your companion. A boy will always be a boy. I needed someone stronger, as anointed, a shaman. I put it on I'm putting it on my profile. It's a shaman dating a shaman. We're both very spiritual beings and vessels of the divine. So for me, this man is everything for me. And that's all right. That's why I don't want to know. Not a jealous person. Not a jealous person. He's not a jealous person. He see the boys. I see, people. He's had some very beautiful boyfriends. Very beautiful boyfriends. Very beautiful. And I have known a few, and they were remarkable. But we're in this for the long haul. And we're discussing a lot of things. But we're going to save that conversation and announce it so that it can be publicly announced the right way. Hold on. Yeah, the right way. We're going to wait on that. It says something about internet connection was unstable. That's why I looked. Okay. No, but yeah, we're going to hold off on that. Just know that we're together and we're happy, and you're going to see a lot from us, because apart, we are very, very powerful and very whole. So together, it's this whole, I'm a phoenix, he's a dragon, a fire breather. That's what happens when he's preaching and stuff like that. He's a fire breather. So we're both fire for fire, but I like to call it the dragon phoenix. That's kind of our thing. We got to get he used to say, yo, we're gonna have to get a crest made, because this is gonna be big. And it is. Like, I've never had someone spiritually in tune to this level that I could really just be with. And the crazy thing is, we end every night on the phone, FaceTiming, talking, discussing. There's so much to be ironed out. We know we're gonna have many houses. We know this. He's got big dreams, I've got big dreams. We know this. But he's currently in New York. I'm currently in Philadelphia. And you know what I love? For people like us, it's not a problem. Location is rich people's problems. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. He's building his empire, continuing to build his empire, because he's already got 30 years to my 20. He's got 30 plus years building his empire. I've got 20 years. And we are doing really well together. And I'm happy. No boy has caught my attention. Nothing that I care to have to need to share, because I already said it, I'm not breaking 10 years of celibacy with someone who doesn't really mean everything to me, you know. And what I love about our relationship is Jermaine keeps telling me we can make this thing look however we want to make it. And that is where I find the most freedom, because I let go and I find my mind trying to hold on to what traditional relationships look like. And we don't have to do that. We know that we love each other very deeply. But, you know, like, we're starting there. And it's so funny. We're starting there and we're staying there. So it's like, oh yeah, we'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. We'll figure that out. We'll figure this out. We'll figure it out. And that's what's happening. As time goes on, we're just going to figure it out. But this is the person I love more than any man I've ever loved, ever in life. So crazy. So crazy. And, you know, I met some of his people and young mentees and godchildren 20 years ago. It's going to be quite the interesting thing to see that 20 years later, they're going to be like, oh, you still messing with this bitch? How you get up with this bitch again? Good.
Especially since one of my goddaughters threatened to.
Yes.
So my godchildren are very protective of me. So my goddaughter back then,
yep,
was like, I will bust you. So I never knew that until later down the line, because she never told me, because she knew if she told me, I was like, girl, you can't be threatening everybody. So also, I want folks to know that your preference doesn't have to dictate your heart.
Right.
That love is what love is. And you get to constantly create something new, because you are not dating the person you broke up with. The other person is not dating the person they are. So the two of you coming together is automatically new. Yes, it's still called a relationship. But you get to decide what it looks like and form it and create it to fit you. There is no template to you or the other person, because you're both unique individuals. So yes, the template or the barrier is called relationship. But what happens in that barrier, the two individuals or whomever get to decide that and create that. And the awesome thing, that even status doesn't have to be the thing that limits. But that does not mean if you're just like hard off, like, no, amen for you. May the Lord watch between me and thee as we depart one from another. That's just a little sidebar joke. Just had the little church stuff in there. But nonetheless, you get to still find it, because if you are a person that has just found out your status, or you've had your status for a minute, know that love is always available to you. Because the first person that has to love you is you. So if you can't spend that alone time and stare yourself in the mirror and say that you love you for just being who you are, then there will be some issues. Because if you don't like who you are, it's going to become harder for others to like who you are because you don't like who you are. So then that energy you put out there will be people that will prey on the fact of your insecurities and your doubts and your concerns. We don't want that no more. We want you to burn that off. Burn that off and then allow yourself to be the purest version of who you are, because love is out there. Love is out there for you who have HIV. Love is out there for those who have cancer of whatever stage and whatever it is. Love is for anyone that's out there if you're willing to love yourself fully. Not in spite of, not because of, just because you exist to love. And then what happens is you then get to draw that to you. Yes, there will be some pariahs that are drawn to you, but because you love yourself enough, you won't even entertain that. That pilot, TV show, industry talk, that pilot would never be picked up by your network. You saw the pilot, you chopped it, and let it go on. But it's the one that when love comes into you, you'll sit there and create a deal that is multiple seasons that have already been greenlighted because you have connected and found a way to be your full self. And if you can't be your full self in a relationship, you may want to sit there and think about y'all need to be sisters or broskies or bromance or best friends or acquaintances, because the key thing is in any form of ship. Once love comes in, then you should never feel that you are going to be judged. You should be able to be your full goofy self, your serious self, your quirky self, your upside down self, or you should be able to be your full femininity. Yeah. You should be able to be your full masculinity. You should be able to beat your face and be a butch queen and drag, for those who are in the ballroom scene, you know what that means. You can be a realness with a twist, but the person that you love should love all of you. Not just one aspect, but every dimension. And as you are discovering more dimensions of yourself, that allows you and the other person to fall deeper in love with yourself. Why? Because you are continuing to do this amazing work on yourselves that you allow to grow and expand, and see that the wealth of that is continuous. Yeah. Love does not die. It's an energy that just constantly transforms. Can you be willing to go with the transformation? And that's the awesome part about relationships. 20 years, it has just constantly transformed. And we've just walked with it as we've learned what it meant to ourselves and to each other. Are we happy? Fuck yeah. Because, whatever. Yes, I cuss as a cleric. I try to minimize how much cuss words come out of my mouth because I'm trying to do that now. But
smart people do. They say smart people cuss a lot.
I do. I be trying to hold it back. But the idea is, are we happy? Yes. Are we sitting there discovering and crossing the bridge when we come and building whatever necessary in that? Of course. Because that's what relationships do. We are not the 19 and 20 darn 5-year-old. Yeah. So we can't go back to that. No. We have 40 and 46, which means there is a different way and of appreciation and connecting to each other. Love does not die. Once that word has been articulated into the universe, when it's sincere. Yeah. Not love because I just want your drawers.
Right.
Not love because I want your purse. Not love because I want to just be there and I don't understand it. But that love that literally is that thing that can heal you. Yeah. When the two forces come into the same space. This ain't a Hancock effect that because we are aligned in the same space, somehow we deplete each other. But we've honored the presence of the phoenix and the dragon. So then when they come into the same space, there is a synergy that happens that he, she, they are not torched and incinerated. Yeah. And nor is my scales burnt to a cinder, because there is a synergy that happens. And again, also even when it comes to relationship structure. So let me just do this little caveat because we on it. Got time. If you have discovered, and as the Queen said, there's a difference between open swingers and polyamory and polygamy. Yeah, those are drastically different things. I'm not in an open relationship because I don't have a need to satisfy the desire of sex like that. Yeah. That ain't gonna say that there ain't gonna be a room shaking. But I don't necessarily need, that's not my primary drive and force. Open relationships are normally not about actually a substantial emotional and actual intellectual connection. It's about there's a sexual need or a physical need. Yeah. Physical don't always mean a bone chicken while I'm on the room shaking and the neighbors know my name. Oh, I don't believe I quoted that Negro. But nonetheless, It can be the fact that you just want to be touched, you want to be held, or you just want them walls destroyed, or you want your bird slurped until you're drained like nobody's business. But that's fine. That ain't the ministry of this. Nor is it a swinging scenario. So for all the folks, please don't start DMing that y'all want to swirl and knurl. No, there will be no swirl and knurl between the two of us. Because, child, what may happen, you try that, the phoenix will incinerate you, and there will be a deep breath. And there will be incinerated. So we don't want to do that. So swinging, and we respect those who swing. That is also a different relationship structure that is honored. And there's monogamy. Monogamy is the thing of tradition that we have been wired to believe that literally, oh, you are my everything. So as a person, you're everything now or forever. That's a conversation we don't have. Yes, they were your everything when you was in high school and you were high school sweethearts, and they gave you everything that you needed at the moment of that. And then the hope is you did some growth and you learned some stuff about yourself, and there's been some self-discovery and some self-awakening and some self-care, and you loved yourself through some stuff that they was not present for because you may have went to different schools. But no one person is your everything. The key piece of who is your everything, you are.
Allow me to interject right there. We always keep saying this to each other. We keep saying that part where he just said, we keep saying that to each other. Like I'm a firm believer as being polyamorous. No one person can be everything that you need. I'm sorry. No one person. I'm sorry. I mean, that I'm not trying to kill monogamy. I'm not trying to kill all of those things. But if you look at relationships and you study them, no one person can make you laugh and make you feel this way and make you do this and make you do that and make it's just not possible. And this is the thing, you have people that, okay, in monogamous relationships, they understand that the person cannot be everything to them, so they compromise. They take and they decide that what they have is enough, and they sidebar or sideline the rest of the things that they want. And what I realize and what I love is, in admitting that no one person is everything to you, it opens you up, like you said, for polyamory, because this person makes me laugh. This person is a great drinking buddy. I don't drink, but this buddy is great for advice. Now, mind you, the difference between the both of us is this is what we do for a living. We mentor, so we are all of these things. So because some people, even one of my spiritual mamas was like, why y'all gotta be polyamorous? Because we want to be. Like, honestly, because we want to be. There's no long drawn out explanation. We want to be because we were before we got together. We were. You know me. One of my babies said to me, he said, Queen, you collect men. I collect them. And I was talking to Jay about this. I said, Jay, these boys that I collect, I don't want to sleep with them. I said, I'm more so, it's an emotional attachment to them. And I want to help their careers. I told him, one of my mentors years ago taught me, you keep your dick out of your downline. Don't sleep with the people you're trying to help. Don't sleep with the people that mean something in your empire. You don't do that. With each boy I have ever interviewed, with each man I have ever come across, it elicits an emotional response. They make me feel a certain way about them. Why? Because I know their story. I know their dreams. I know their desires. And that's just the daddy and me wanting to make sure that they see their dreams and that they achieve their dreams and that they, can focus on those things. And when I can help and if I can help and how I can help. We both do that. We both have children. We both have not biological yet, but you keep pushing me, but not biological yet, but we, oh God, him and his children, but Lord, we're gonna be old as hell. Okay. All right.
Good black don't cry. Good black don't cry.
All right, Dragon. Listen here now.
Good black don't cry.
All right. You see, this is the conversation we having in front of y'all, but y'all ain't hearing nothing.
There will be a whole tribe that will help with the process that are entrusted, and again, because of security, all that stuff will come into play.
He already know. We talked about that. I mean, my baby's got to be watched all the time, or at all time. Don't touch my babies.
No nandies though. No
Don't,
nandies.
yeah, don't know. But yeah, with these boys that I have in my life that I have collected, it is an emotional thing. I love to see them win. I was just on Rico Pruitt. He's a adult star. I was just on his live while I was cutting my actual hair. And I popped in there and he's like, hey, Queen of Shade. And I'm just like, boy, you're so gorgeous. I love you. You know, I do that quite often. Do I want to jump his bones? No, no. Does that mean I'm not going to watch him in adult situations? No, I'm going to still watch, but I don't want to be the one. Like, I'm one of those. I've always been that way. I'll take and watch it, do what I got to do, and then be like, whew, thank God it was you and not me. You sweated out your hair, honey. I can't sweat out this wig. Honey, your back is you wobbling, not me. Oh wait, y'all. He has these conversations. He has these conversations with several spirit guides in his house. Several spirit guides. I watched him do this. Like, yeah, conversations. But yeah, like it's not, polyamory is about more than just the physical. Now, you guys know, and I'm not gonna lie, I've publicized it. I can be a very physical person, but it's been 10 years. It's literally been 10 years. And I'm 40. Like, I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like, honey, it's not that I feel old. I just feel distinguished. I don't want to roll around and get all crazy. I don't want to do all that. Look at you. You like, what? You don't? Look at you like a...
I'm into the whole fact of distinguished.
I do. I feel distinguished. Like, you know what it is? Because, and I'm just going to say this, and I don't want to offend, but most of the time when you're young and your hormones are going crazy, you don't have really much else to offer. There's nothing that you can really build with. There's no knowledge, like wisdom. And when you're young and you hot, you running around, you're young and you're hot. They used to call it young, dumb, and full of cum. They used to say that all the time. But when you start to hit the 30s and the 40s and you've got a career and you've got things, see, because young people, they don't have anything to lose. See, when you get our age, we done built shit. We got shit to lose. So we're not about to roll around with you and you try to fuck up our empires. Like, that's just not gonna happen. Like, so I feel distinguished, now. And I've even said to him, I'm like, listen, I love you and I love him in all ways. So I'm like, I'm very sure I can probably rekindle myself, or he can help with that. Look at, what, you get on my nerves. You get on my nerves, but
Thank you. But again, that's love.
Yeah.
Love will, which is why for folks of a certain age,
yeah,
when you would see two masculine identified as lesbians together, and it would always be like, what the hell is that? That doesn't make any sense. Love.
Yep.
When you would see two people that you know that you possibly may have slept with the two of them, they were both tops, but yet they're together. Love. You see two effeminate bottoms together, or two effeminate tops together, two masculine bottoms together, and you're like, how the hell does that work? Love. Two femmes that are together. Love. Because love will transcend to a place that what is necessary and what's called for will happen in some creative way, shape, form, or another. Love is still the answer. And just to piggyback on the fact of young people, so by the work that we're doing, and hold on, I don't have it up there. And all the videos that the Queen is in, and all the stuff that I'm doing, that literally begins to create a shift. That there are alternatives to this, or as my multiversal process, it creates a time split where there's an alternative perspective of what folks can engage in. So the fact is they can be young and full, but then they get to refocus that energy in other ways that then allow them to then build at early age. So yes, we have been doing this for a minute. But the idea is all of the information and all the knowledge, and the one thing I appreciate about this one is that they share the entire process. There is no, we just show the glitz and the glamour. It's the whole journey throughout and out. And that allows folks to get to realize that, oh crap, I'm not the only one. Oh crap, I can do that. And once that inspiration or the ability of muse, or what they would call when the anointing flows, because church folks that may be watching, the anointing flows, it begins to break all strongholds. What does that mean? Inspiration then allows us to then be inspired to act. So what's broken is the fact that we stuck. What's broken is the fact, damn, I can actually find love. What's broken is, damn, I can be superly creative. What's broken is the fact that I can start this now and change my entire trajectory of life because the anointing, or the fact that spirit moved, or the fact that the universe began, or the fact that I heard something that made me be inspired to do a new thing.
Yeah.
That's the awesome stuff that's actually happened, that you get to form what it is for you, but you got to know who you are first.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's why and what's so funny? I think that's why it was time for us, because we both are innately in tune with who we are and spirit. So when and it was so funny because it's not stepping back. It's not doubling back. You were right. We met, we had a connection. That connection only grew stronger over the years, which means it was becoming a new thing constantly. It was not, oh, well, no, it became a new thing constantly. And, until it became what it is today. And, I love that, because I always say this to him, I love having a grown love. I don't want schoolboy love. I'm not a schoolboy. I like to have fun. And as y'all can see, he is very comical. But I love to laugh. I love to do that. But the schoolboy love, that's that love where y'all roll around and then y'all like, well, who gonna pay for dinner? And y'all looking at each other like, instead of just calling the car service, like, yeah, this is grown love. And I'm so glad that I waited. I'm so glad that I waited. I tried to make it happen with other people before, and the divine just was like, nope, no, no, no. We both did. We tried. We had people in our past that we did love. We had people in our past that we adored, but it just, for some reason, it just wasn't, that component just didn't fit all the way. And there were times when I even said, oh, okay, well, this one could be the one. And no. And then if something happened, I'm picking up the phone and I'm calling New York. Jermaine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the employee. Shut up.
I get the phone call and I was like, oh, okay, this is work related. Okay. Yes, boss. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I would just listen, like, oh, okay. And then didn't take anything of it as if it was something wrong.
Right.
Like, you're bad, or how dare you call me with tales of extracurricular activities.
Right.
No, it was okay. Because again, love is not something that dies. That energy doesn't die, it just transforms. And love is an energy. It transforms and it evolves. And it has got to the point there, it's like, yeah, oh sure. And I would listen and give suggestions, because you can't tell grown folks yet. Technically, you can't tell anyone nothing. You can just inspire and plant seeds, and then hope that life will begin to nurture the seed exterior and internally at the same time, and then the light bulb moment happens and folks get it. But yeah, and I listened, and that was the awesomeness of this. Like, we constantly got to create what this looks like, and it's trust and believe. Ain't nothing that happens through Dragon Phoenix is going to be look like any goddamn thing you see. Like, trust ain't none of it. Yeah, right. Trust for PR marketer over there. Ain't nothing gonna look like anything that you've seen, because of the fact that we are allowed to. I know they said the schoolboy thing, but we're allowed to be children and imagine the unlimitedness of what this can look like, and how it will fall through, and how it will flow through eternally. Like this image I'm looking at on my television, it literally will be something like the cosmos, like stardust flowing throughout the universe and starting one place, ending another. But the fact that the imagination allowed us to see the stardust flowing from one point in the universe to the next, that would be the awesome that it is. Now, there would be a whole lot of kiddie shit, because out of the two of us, I'm the more big kid. I'm just saying, yes, I'm the cleric. Yes, I'm the shaman. But yes, I'm the bigger kid out of the two of us. So there'll be a lot of goofball shit that you will be privilege to.
But I like your goof.
Of course, listen, it was 20 years in the making. You best to like this shit. So, so there will be a lot of goofball stuff.
What? You're so crazy.
A lot of goofball stuff. And there'll be a lot of serious stuff. There will be moments where, like, it's one of those, there's a need for Dragon Phoenix to be present and do some stuff. And trust me, there'll be a lot of stuff coming down the line. You know, you'll find out from the Queen's website and then my platforms, you'll be finding some stuff that there is a need for us to then do the thing that we were charged to do. Yeah. And the power is that by us doing it together as well as separately, it allows for a reach to go further, because the idea is not that we are trying to convert nobody, but if we have the ability to inspire one person that inspires another person, 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 it then creates this process that the world begins to change.
Yeah.
And we get a utopia. We get this place where love is the deciding factor. We get this place where there's a mutual respect for one another. We get to this place that we see that you're just as valuable and worthy as the two of our damn wild asses. We get you, the world gets to see that. And then what happens when we're all seeing each other's worth and respecting each other and loving on each other? Child, ain't no reason for me to sit there and fat shame you. There's no reason for me to sit there and skinny shame you. There's no reason for me to sit there and lock shame you or bald shame you or body form shame you or your socio. There's no reason for me to have to shame you for nothing, because it's nothing but worth. I see your worth. I have respect for you, and it's mutual. It's reciprocity, and then I have love for you. And love does not mean I'm trying to bum chicka wow with you. Love is the fact of the energy that is allowing us to transform continuously. We get to do that for each other. So of course, and then the idea is that everyone gets to chime in. Everyone has a role and a responsibility in that process, because we see what the world looks like now with the mitigation of love.
But you know, the crazy thing is, you still gotta be my spiritual advisor.
Employee. How you fucking your employee? Oh! I'm just saying, you see this, folks? I'm still an employee. I thought I was fired.
You're
fired as an employee to become the boyfriend. But clearly,
I said you still have to be the spiritual advisor. I didn't say it's an employee.
You see that? You see how I just got rehired on camera? You see this?
You fired yourself. I didn't fire you.
First off, I thought I was fired. First off, was it not said?
You can wear many hats.
Listen, was it not said? The words did not come out my mouth. The words came out their mouth, that they don't put their dick in the business.
Oh, no, that is true. Yeah. But you still got to be. But you know what it is, though. Like, but we really do advise each other spiritually. That's why I say you still have to be the spiritual advisor, because, like, literally. And it is an elevation. You're right. It's not an employee. It's an elevation, because now it's on that same level. It's like it's the meeting of the mind. It's the connecting of the soul. And we're able to just, flow back and forth mentally. Ain't nobody gonna have that position. Oh, you were that before this. Why would I give that position to somebody else? He got hired. What'd you do to your spiritual advisor? I married him.
Married an employee. Like, how does that work in a business? Like,
it doesn't. You're not in the business.
I became an employee. I thought I was fired.
Not anymore. You are the man.
And then I got rehired as the other thing plus the other thing. You see the double duty. You see how
much fun I'm going to be having with this knucklehead for the rest of my life.
The queen does the whole. The whole tap forehead and go ye forth, knight of the round table. Like, you see that? I got knighted as the boyfriend and the man. And then now I come into a whole conversation, because it's never interviews. Conversation. And I'm back to the top.
Nobody would believe you are 40. You're going to be 46. And I like that. Knighting yourself. I do not do that.
Back to work. You see it? I don't understand. Like, they don't understand. Like, I thought this was get knighted back. So you know what that is? Because we get to create. See, that's what I get for opening my mouth. We get to imagine and create this as such. So, oh, this is my boyfriend. This is my man. We're in a relationship. And then come to the conversation. Oh, you're still the spiritual father. You see that? You see, that's what I get for opening.
Yes. Okay, I got a question for you.
It's fine. No, I'm cool with it.
I got a question.
Because it's
really. But think about that. 20 years of getting to know each other in and out. who really could advise me? Who really could come in? Now, and now mind you, and I have a man now. What man could come in and advise me more than my man?
Well, that's true.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. What? Without you looking at him like,
Oh, Chad, I'll be like, what you said there? Repeat that. I'm just curious. Oh, okay. Well, that kind of makes sense, but your delivery was suck. Like,
and then I'll chime in. Your delivery sucked because your intentions sucked.
you can see that. See, I wouldn't go that far. I'll try to just bring the person
I am
together.
the queen. I am the queen of shade.
This man will sit there and just.
I am the queen of shade.
We ain't just talking about a ballroom chop. Just.
So here we got to answer these questions real quick. All right. So tell your birth sign.
I'm a Sagittarian, the greatest sign on the planet, and I am born in the year of the dragon. The greatest year and sign in the zodiacs.
Can anybody tell that he's really happy? I'm glad because I'm happy too. I'm a Libra. I don't have to be the greatest sign on the planet. I just have to be the most beautiful and the most balanced.
I will always be the great hunter, Chad, the provider, and the dragon. That's fine. That's why it's tattooed on both of my legs. The dragon. That's fine. Go ahead. Next question.
What's your favorite food? We got to do this for them because they want to.
So I love pizza. Me and that pizza's a go-to.
Yeah.
A good quality burger is a go-to.
Yeah.
Pasta, lasagna is a go-to. I'm a vegan. Let me eat first.
I was going to say, tell them because this stuff is different.
I ain't eating the cows. Cows sacred. Ooh, pig sacred. Ooh, I don't do dog sacred. Ooh, for the folks that do that. Chicken sacred. Ooh, squid sacred. Ooh, I don't do that. But yeah, like plant-based. So I know this ain't technically a food, but ice cream is my spiritual advisor. It speaks to me deep in my spirit. It speaks to me deep in my spirit. Knee ankle toe. It talks.
Knee ankle toe.
In the midst of midnight hours, ice cream is great. Now I know ice cream is not a food for all the nutritionists and the professionals and the doctors that watch this one. I know that, but it's good. It speaks to my spirit. But pizza, burgers, and pasta, love those.
What is mine? I do love fish. Like lox is one of my things. We were talking about this the other day. Lox is my thing. I love smoked salmon. But I don't really do too much of it all the time. Even if I went to a plant-based diet, I don't think I would give up lox. Yeah, I don't think I would give up lox.
That's not a plant-based diet.
I think well, most everything would be plant, but I need my lox.
I'll give it an alternative to it, and you won't know the goddamn.
Ooh, well, that'll be good. That'll be good if you could find it. If I could find a healthy alternative to lox, that would be great. What else? I like ice cream too. In fact, I remember 20 years ago when we were out and about and you were doing what you had to do for Pride, we stopped and we got ice cream. And then I had to experience all your exes walking up to you like, who is this? And I was 19. I wasn't 25. I was 19. And I'm looking like, who is this? I was pretty. I could hold my own. I was pretty. Yeah, I was pretty. I was svelte. Yes, I was. But them boys was gorgeous too. Them boys was gorgeous too. You've had quite the life.
Yes, Lord.
Here's to 100 more years for both of us. 100 more years. What's your favorite pastime?
Okay. So, photography, bike riding, roller skating, and video games. And cartoons. Love cartoons from the... So I'm not going to be shady. So, cartoons from the 80s, the 90s, and some of the 2000s. But mostly the 80s and the 90s. That's my pastime.
Yeah. Photography, finding new boys, Black and Latin. It actually recharges me. It's so crazy. I find them and it's like, oh, look at this one. And I get into their lives and they're like, oh, queen. Yeah, it does something emotionally for me. Like it makes me feel good because then I'm able to use my knowledge and my base of information to help them. So what do I say? Photography, boys, boys. Boys. Did I say boys? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. No, but for real, singing. I sing all the time. I'm writing music all the time. And this is another thing. You guys, like, I already have my next album ready, but like, I'm writing a new album because this is a new place of love and this love has grown. It's not about the past. So I'm getting songs that are just like, we wait till you hear. We gonna still put them into some sick ass dance beats. Oh yes, honey. She will stay true to her genre. But yeah, singing, writing, talking to my man. Right on, man. See, right. Okay. Oh, I know what to do.
So we both. Okay. We both got a common hobby: traveling. Second, I like restaurant. Like I like restaurant hopping. No tea, no shade. I love a good restaurant as long as it's plant based and it's a real menu and not no damn salad. I don't. I love salad, but that's not my priority. But yeah, traveling. Love traveling. We both love traveling. Just gonna be some stunts of traveling. But yeah, we both like traveling.
Yeah.
And I like the restaurant hop. This bitch just want to do takeout. I'll do restaurant hopping. I'm just saying.
You know what it is? And I'm gonna tell him just like I told everybody, I'm gonna tell y'all like I told him. I am not the girl that you get to sit at the table with. I work too hard. And I protect my energy and my cerebral cortex so much because I'm constantly getting messages. I don't have time to sit down and hear how much you adore me because I don't have time. Like, I don't have time. I'm just being honest. Love all my supporters, love all my followers, but you could have said that in a text. You could have said that in a DM. Numbers is all up there, text. You could have said it through a Cash App and put it as a note. Okay, like there's ways to do that. When I'm out and about, I don't like to, that's why I told him. He was mad at me. He said, we're not going to do restaurants. I said, we'll do restaurants, but they're going to have to close the restaurant down.
First off, that's not what was said. I like how you try to add that caveat, but the original conversation, because you know it's all about the original, not the intended. The original was, oh, we do takeout. You takeout, bitch. I want to sit my black ass daddy. But I was like, okay, we'll do takeout.
It depends. I was just saying that though. Like, they would have to close the restaurant.
She meant takeout. She trying to play slick. She meant takeout.
They would have to close the restaurant. Me, him, the owner, a server.
In blocks. But that's what I'm saying. I
really do like takeout though. I'll take it back to my house. I ain't gonna lie. I'll take it back to my house. But if we're going to dine in, I don't want a lot of people in the restaurant. He knows why too, and I'm going to tell you guys why, because I don't think I have. I'm so sensitive to energy and different energies in the room that in order for me to be who I am and not be working, I can't have too many people in the room that have a lot of energy. I've said this to him before, but even when I perform, even when I sing, I can't have too many people moving. The energy will disrupt. So you got to sit there and then I'll pause and let y'all go to the bathroom, whatever y'all got to do. And then I'll wait. I'll sit on stage in my gown and sip my sparkling water, and I'll wait. I'll wait on y'all. I'm the type of person where I'm not gonna show up late. I'm gonna be early. I'm gonna be sitting on stage when y'all get there. They're gonna be like, what? Yep, she's sitting on stage waiting on y'all. But yeah, it's just too much energy. I did a TikTok about that today. It's too much energy. Like you in New York City, my hat is off to you, because to be able to walk around as a shaman and have all of those different energies that pull on you every single day. Every time he called me, I'm in the dark recharging. I'm in the dark laying down recharging, because it's just so much, and that's over the internet. Like, oh my God, you're not gonna wear me out. Not gonna wear me out. All right. He has a really big family. I've excommunicated my family, so my family I will be engrafted into his family.
I know his chosen family. So yeah, biologically, it's what it is. We both got large chosen family, large ones. I thought mine was large. This shit is way larger than mine. Mine is. I'm okay with my biological being larger, but when it comes to chosen, that's a long list.
Well, I'm proud of that list.
Football stadium type list.
Well, then that means they all got to be there. They're gonna go pay the ticket.
I have a banquet hall type chosen family. It's got a whole football stadium.
Oh my God!
So all the children that are far out in the ether
But you know what it is? Our children and our chosen families, they love us. That's one thing we have in common. We know what it's like to love ourselves. And then we know what it's like to be loved and let that love in. Because even with this, we had to be in a space to be able to let that love in. So many people, even me for years, did not know. I ran from this man. Like, I did not know how to let that love in. And then my grandmother, even before we got together, my grandmother was saying to me, she was giving me a compliment. She woke me up early in the morning and she was talking to me and she was just like, B, you don't know how to let somebody love you. And when she said that, I took that to heart. I was just like, because I love myself, but I was like, she's right. Like, I don't, and I knew that Jay loved me. I knew that he did. He never overstepped his bounds. He was always damn polite. But I knew that he loved me. And I knew, like, it was kind of one of those actions where, like, I knew if I didn't say something, I would lose out on so much in my life that we can accomplish together. Like, I wouldn't have to do it alone because, I say this, I publicized it. My biggest thing is I didn't want somebody interested in me after I became the Queen of Shade, because then they would be there because of the Queen of Shade. It wouldn't matter who they were, how much they said they adored me. You met the Queen of Shade. You don't know Kali Payton because you met Kali Payton. You don't know Kali Payton. He knew Kali Payton. Then he got to know Bjorn Dufault. Now he knows the Queen of Shade. We were talking about my angelic name being Isaiah. Like, he knows all of these evolutions. And he was there for all of them. So that was kind of like the universe's way of answering a prayer, because I didn't want something. We're new people, but I did not want something new. I didn't want something new. Because, I mean, how do you know? Like, we knew each other before we was really up and that was another thing too. We watched each other over the years. I remember when he got ordained and college, and I'm like, oh, he is just doing everything. And then, I'm a late bloomer. Then I start blazing on out here, and he was right there, like, wow, you're really doing it. I remember one time he was encouraging me and he was talking about Black Wall Street and the post office and the bank and, being financially independent. I mean, this man can give spiritual advice and guidance that will shut your shit down. I remember when Nene Leakes tried to steal my trademark in 2018, and I got the receipts to prove it. I called this man from Atlanta, Georgia, in the middle of recording my album, and he told me, honey, you are the Phoenix. What God gave you will be yours. And then he threw in the Matrix too, being the one. And honey, that Nene thing went right away. And so did the Marvel comic and Disney one. They all backed off. I said, oh. So, it's nice to have that in my life and be able to share a bed. You a little freak. Stop that.
I'm a saint.
Why did I hear close the door?
I'm a saint. I don't do such things like that. I am a virgin. What's the other question now? We can't keep cutting up. What's the other question?
We are cutting up. I don't have any questions. I forget what the other one. Oh, let me look. Let me look. They asked. Let me look.
They got questions and you sitting there.
Yeah, they got questions.
Cut up and stuff. We gotta focus on the questions.
Hold on. Where's the questions? Where's the questions? So when did this happen? 6/30/22. That was the official date. How did it happen? We already said that. We went through all of that. Bless your union. Thank you. Hold on. I'm just making sure we got through them all. Will this last?
Yeah, because it's
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think we can move on. Yeah. What kind of question was that? But anyway, yeah. Let me see. Oh, okay. Being blessed to find someone that does the same thing that you do in shaman work. Do you find that you guys energize each other?
So that's an amazing question.
Yeah.
So yes, and it's really, I caught the F word coming out. So yes, it's absolutely, because I find myself, like after we talk, because again, it's just like before. We'll talk and then we'll look at the time like, oh shit, we need to go to bed, go to sleep, go to bed. We'll get off of FaceTime, and what do? Text each other. So it like literally, and then what happens is when one of us becomes the mature adult, okay, go to sleep. I'll talk to you later. We'll talk later. Go get some rest. I will literally be up for several hours later with all of this energy that I have to burn off, that I have to literally release in order to fall asleep. Because if I lay down with all of that, my mind is just going to keep running, and then I'm not going to sleep, and then my kid is going to look at me like, Dad, what the hell's going on with you, bro? Like, you came in the room with all this extra. Yes, I have a snake. Isaiah is my boo-boo, but that's my baby. So, and ball python, just for folks who are snake lovers out there in the world. So yeah, so you know, she'll look at me kind of weird, like, bro, can you calm down? You waking me up. So I gotta walk out the bedroom and kind of release it, because I'm not going outside to be around trees, because for me, that's a way I can actually expel excess energy. I'm not going outside at 5 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning. Not doing that. So I find ways to just like breathe through and release it and then lay down. I'm always charged once we talk, which is the
And
awesome part.
we both are. We end every night talking. Every night. Every single night. And you know what I love? It doesn't feel weird or awkward. It just, you know, there's a song, Hello Old Friend. You know, hello old friend. Yeah, but yeah, I'm surprised.
And it's not boring. Like, it's not like we talk about.
But you can tell that neither one of us are boring, child.
We don't talk about the same thing every time we get on.
We really don't.
There is a yielding to the divine in conversation.
Yeah.
That naturally happens at very different points in our conversation. Now, if you ask us to repeat what the hell we said, that's not going to happen.
Right.
So you better court what you need to court, because baby, I don't know what the hell I said, and you don't know what the hell he said. It's like, oh well, just catch it, just catch it, because there's no repeating.
And no, always have to have cameras on us. We're gonna always have to have cameras on us or recorders or something, because that like channeling, like between, like, and I put that in my bio, a shaman dating a shaman. That's something. Like we shoot, like we just shoot from the hip, and it's just like. And then we're like, it's kind of like coming to. It's like, well, all right, did you get what God said for you? Like it's deep. It's deep. It's very powerful, and it's kind of funny because even with who we have around us, it's just they have to be so extraordinary. They have to be so extraordinary. They do, because we are both extraordinary in many ways, and that's the thing. This one is more like he loves people. Let's say it like that. He loves people. You heard his bio. He started with, you know, children's services. He's always had a mind and a push for young people. I love young people, but I love them from afar, because I'm one of them people that I expel a lot of flame when I'm doing what I'm doing. So then I don't want to, like, when you're vulnerable, then. Like that's why, because once you expel that flame and you give what is to be given, you're vulnerable. And that's why I love having him, because he's there to kind of cloak me and say, okay, we all right. Dragon wings, we all right. Because that's the thing, coming out of that state, I've yet to see him really, really go there. And I'm waiting for it, because the shaman ability in this man. Child, if we decide to have children, they're gonna be some very gifted people. Why 4? We old, baby. We're not 20.
What that mean?
What that mean?
You understand what a tribe is? We ain't about to go through this again. You have a chosen family that's a fucking football field of every seat. So we find there's tons of babysitters, and first off, it's like, okay, so you old enough to fly, let's go, get out. There's no, listen, let's not.
I'll put my babies out once they get old. My babies.
I'm not saying pick them out. I'm saying once they're old enough, we can just fly out, because you know at a certain age you can't take kids on planes because pressure, and it can be long-term barrier. But nonetheless, so what's the rest of the questions? So let's get through all the questions from
that
the
was it. That was
it. Okay, folks. You know, if you have more questions, make sure in the comments of this video, make sure to type your And both of us will answer. I will commit to answering. And I don't really do that. Like, I respond here and there, but I will commit to
I'm
answer.
getting him into answering because I can't keep telling him I love him on social media and he not say I love you back.
First off, that's a lie. I've said that. Ooh, you about to, ooh! But again, make sure that you comment on the stuff. I will engage back. You ain't got to tag me. You can just be like, hey. I will commit. See this? I'm doing commitment here. I will commit with this video, the previous video, and the announcement post. I will go through, and if there are comments that I feel that should be responded to, that this one did not respond sufficiently to, that there needs just be like a salt bait onto it, I'll do my little salt bait to it. If there's something directly like, oh, Emerald Enigma, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool, I'll answer. But again, I will commit, especially when it comes to the YouTube video when it goes up, which will be like in 10 seconds because you know how this won't work. So I will make sure anything that's said, I will actually respond. Wait a minute, I just thought about something. Hold on. I don't get the what are the 3 words that expire? I don't get all the red stuff that everybody else give. You see that?
Wait, listen, because this is different. We had our
I
interview.
thought about that. Yeah, I was all
Well,
hold.
this was because I was going to say this. I was going to thank them for witnessing our coming together. I was going to thank them for bearing witness to our union, and I was going to ask them for their prayers and their good thoughts on our union and how we grow and where we go and what we do, because it's going to, like you said, it's going to be mighty. And it takes mighty people to do what we've been called to do. And honestly, from a shaman standpoint, we needed each other. We needed each other. We needed each other because, it can be accomplished single-handedly, but baby, it's always good to have an extra fireball or an extra pair of wings. It's just always, it's just better. Someone that can, and it's kind of crazy because we can protect each other. It's deep. It's deep. So I didn't say the 3. Well, I have to do it now because you want me to. But it wasn't really an interview. It was our interview. We just did it ourselves.
So then we both get to answer the same question, and then
Get ready to say.
you've heard the vocals. Oh, I get to say that now.
So answer 3 words that inspire and empower you.
I am.
Yeah. 2.
No. I am, and it's a blank space that I get to fill in.
Yeah. See, look at you.
That is the for me, especially at this stage of like life and existing.
Yeah.
That is the thing that inspires me. That's the thing that gives me hope, and it's the fact that I am blank, and I get to fill that in with whatever it is. So I am hope.
Yeah.
I am peace. I am tranquility. I am achieving. I am successful. I am the bomb. Yeah, I was supposed to say some cuss words. I'm trying to pull back from that, But I am all those things, and I get to fill that in based on the prescription of what I am in that moment. So that's the thing that inspires and encourages me. So what are the 3 words that encourage? I'm loving this. What are the 3 words that encourage you?
Strength, power, and vulnerability. Because I've learned that you can be very powerful and do what you need to do, but there are times when you need to be vulnerable. And it's always good to have someone you can trust, love, and adore to be vulnerable with. And that is what you bring to my life. So those were why there's a lot of strength between us. There's a lot of power between us. There also is a certain level of vulnerability that we both share with each other that is just very special. And I love it, and I love you.
I love you.
Right.
That's shorthand for I love you. So you be trying
to. What you say? No gang signs.
First off, not a gang sign. This is shorthand for American sign for I love you. Gag. I be knowing some things.
He knows a lot.
Well, I say it all the time. You don't be catching it. You think I'm throwing?
You do say it all the time.
I'm not talking about just verbally.
I know. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings of this crazy ass couple that you know to be the Queen of Shade and Reverend Jermaine, David, Moses, Rufus, Green. Isn't there something else on the end of that? Is it like the third or something like that?
No, it's Jermaine, David, Moses, Rufus.
Okay. All right. So all of y'all, put your comments under. I'm going to put this up in about 2 seconds. And I'll be able to take your questions and we'll both answer your questions. But hopefully we've answered everything. Yeah, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. All right. I love y'all. And we thank y'all for tuning in. Bye. So did you enjoy? I hope you did. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and don't forget to cash at me at the Queen of Shade. I am your favorite content creator, right? Right. You want to see more of this content, right? Right. Cash at me. I love you. Mwah.
I've got my black stilettos on. Don't you make me take them off. I'm assuming first position. Wanna show you I'm a boss. I've been given 60 seconds just to put my thing down. I'll have you wanting my stilettos by the time I turn around. Turn that TV down.